Thank you for joining me for this bonus video for Pluto and Aquarius, specific to those of you with prominent Aquarius placements. I'm going to get into talking about body astrology. However, if you do not have prominent Aquarius placements, well, Leo might want to listen in, Virgo might want to listen in, Pisces as well, Gemini. Okay, honestly, there's a lot of collective energies that I will be talking about in here that are going to impact the collective. So you might want to listen in anyway. When we're talking about Aquarius, we're talking about humanity at large. I can't help but get into this because when you're talking about Pluto having to do with life, rebirth cycles, and it's in the sun sign or rising sign of Aquarius, which has to do, first sign has to do with your body, sun sign has to do with your vitality. Understand that Pluto is a take no prisoners energy. It's a change or be changed energy. It's like not up for negotiation, right? I'm sorry to be, morose here, but it's kind of the energy of Pluto. We all know one day Grim Reaper's coming for us, and there's no getting out of it, right? And so when we're talking about this energy on a sun sign or rising, you're being asked to eliminate, to detox, to get rid of whatever has been unhealthy for your physical body, for your spiritual body, your psyche. So what I want to do to make this as positive and constructive as possible, despite the grimness of the topic, is to advise you on how to work with this energy and support it so it is as painless as possible, right? Because the best thing to do with Pluto is just surrender to it, understand what it's asking out of you, and surrender to it. So the nice way to work with this energy is to make sure that any pathways for your body to remove or eliminate toxins is unblocked, particularly having to do with your nervous system, your circulatory system. And I say this because all the energy is going on the first 6 months of next year having to do with Aquarius, South Node in Virgo, Jupiter in Gemini, and then this Pluto in Aquarius is opposite Leo. So anything that you can do to relieve your body in this way and to allow yourself to, say, process stress is going to be most helpful. Otherwise, if there are blockages, if there's unchanged behavior, if you're not eliminating toxins from your life, whether it's a toxic lifestyle, toxic thinking, toxic consumption of whatever substances, then Pluto is going to come away and say, okay, we're getting this out of here. You didn't want to get it out the nice way. We're going to go on and take matters into our own hands because it's coming out. And I'm sorry to say, but in extreme situations where people do not surrender to what's being asked of them, well, this could result in, with Pluto, hospitalizations, surgeries, organ removals, transplants. Another way that you can support your body is through not only doing detoxing and removing unhealthy habits from your life, but also starting to replace habits with healthier ones that would practices like autophagy, where you are intentionally doing things like intermittent fasting, eating superfoods, eating anti-aging foods, things that are purposed to allow for cellular damage to die off and then allow for cellular repair. Because remember, not only does Pluto purge and remove things, but it also rebuilds and repairs. The best thing to do is to assist in that process and understand that if you don't, it's going to do it its own way. I advise do it on your own terms rather than Pluto's, but know that it's going to be done. For example, one thing that is really key in the body repairing itself and rebuilding itself is rest, rejuvenation. So if you are not getting appropriate rest to rejuvenate, Pluto can come in, particularly with this energy, and start manifesting symptoms of, say, for example, chronic fatigue syndrome, where it's forcing you to take a time out, whether you want to or not. And so if Pluto is on your rising in your first house right now, what we're seeing is not only your physical body being triggered or impacted in some respect, but also your immune system, your ability to be resilient. So if your sun is in Aquarius getting triggered by this Pluto transit, we're looking at your energy levels also being impacted, in addition to mental clarity. I can tell you that over the last year or so that Pluto has been in Aquarius, I've suddenly started dealing with panic attacks, and I don't believe I've ever in my life experienced such a thing. I had to eliminate caffeine from my diet. Now, I noticed with age I became more and more sensitive to caffeine, but I thought, oh, it's not a big deal because I was only doing like a cup every morning. something within the nervous system, the circulatory system, is not able to process these stimulants. And so I had to completely get off of that and replace it with a healthier habit, because I love coffee. Really paying me to lose that. But I just couldn't keep on. I could not keep on. It was triggering anxiety in me. And so I had to get off the coffee and replace it with basically a DIY knockoff version of mud water, essentially, is what I drink now every morning for my morning ritual. And by the way, I went and got this book, and they're not sponsoring me at all. I don't make any money off of telling you, but I went through this book and I started noticing all of my health issues as Aquarius, Sun, Mercury, midheaven, were showing up in this area of life having to do with nervous system issues, mental fog, losing mental sharpness. Okay, I've noticed myself slipping in that respect. So I am going to be trying to do more in addition to what I've already done with lavender sprays and ashwagandha and stuff like that. And I'll probably be sharing more with people, because this is not just an Aquarian thing. Side note, when you start adding in all these other energies I mentioned before with Jupiter and Gemini, South Node and Virgo, we're looking at collectively a lot of people potentially dealing with anxiety disorders. And this is a lot of future energy when we're looking also at Jupiter and Gemini and Pluto and Aquarius. And when does that anxiety come up? They say it's when you're thinking too much about the future to the point where it's overloading your system. And there could definitely be a lot of mercurial overload with the energies coming up definitely the first 6 months of 2025. This energy is going to push us to become a lot more aware of any kind of radioactive radiation type of energy. Over the next 20 years, definitely people are going to become a lot more aware of electromagnetic frequencies and the effects upon the body. X-rays used for medical reasons, for security reasons. Mammograms, I recently saw some reports come out about that is probably causing more, I can't say on here, than it is actually detecting. You can fill in the blanks. I have to be vague here on this platform. But also the cell phones and the towers as well. These are new technologies, by the way, we really don't fully, completely understand. The next 20 years, it will come out, will be better understood. And so just maybe for now, get ahead of the curve here and do some things to protect yourself from these frequencies and to replace them with healthier ones. And the Jupiter and Gemini transit, which, by the way, we're in the middle of right now, and we will be for the first half of 2025, this is bringing so many fast-tracked technological developments. People don't even really fully understand the risks, the dangers, the long-term side effects, because it's all new. And so do be aware of this. And when we're talking about Jupiter and Gemini, we're looking at mercurial energy again, where would Mercury be found? It's in a lot of things. It's in those things. It's in the things that in the air that get sprayed. People are going to, in time, become aware of the effects on the body. But I'm telling you, heads up, watch out for that. Don't be ingesting that stuff as much as possible. Maybe do some detox chelation therapy, to pull any heavy metals out of your system as much as possible. I've been doing that over the last year, starting my day with lemon, lime, cilantro water. And that has a detox component to it and getting these heavy metals out. Some people are going to figure out some of the lighting that is being used is not healthy. And people are going to start using more natural lighting and start understanding the bad effects of artificial lighting versus natural. But again, just a warning that new developments in technology could be coming in so fast, things getting fast-tracked. And initially it looks really exciting, and maybe there's some lure to it, like it's going to offer you convenience or safety or whatever, fill in the blank. But then you find out later, actually, there was some unknown danger or risk, or it just wasn't fully understood until later on. And then when you get all the information, you're like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that thing. Okay. For example, think about what's going on in 2020 and pair it with, these towers that we're not allowed to even connect the dots on. Is there any kind of interaction with technology? So maybe standalone, it's okay. And I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you put them together. We don't even know. We haven't tested how these technologies interact with one another within the body. So just be aware that we're learning a lot and there's more to learn. Maybe slow your roll and choose wisely. If you want to know more about your unique astrology, remember, I do private readings, and I have a Black Friday sale coming up for Thanksgiving. It will be November 27th through the 29th, 50% off on my entire store. So grab it while you can.